What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody out there is doing well. And I wanted to, like this week, I think I'm going to do short videos. See how that works with the channel. I'm going to save myself a step because that's what I'm doing anyway. When I do these long podcasts, I chop them up into short clips. And I'm just going to save myself a step, save myself a lot of time, and just do that instead of record the whole show. And then, so you'll get more content this way, and it's easier for YouTube. And also, I will upload these short clips over on the podcast platform, so you can listen to the audio if you want to do that. So, but yeah, this is probably going to be 10 or 12 minutes. So, it's just going to be the same thing as you're used to, the same content, but it's just you're not going to get a big long podcast, basically. So I'm going to try that this week, see how that works. But I wanted to jump on here and talk about Biden is doing this today. He is reinstating the COVID-19 travel ban to the UK, Europe, and Brazil. And there's like 26 countries that's doing this. So Trump, right before he left office on January 18th, he lifted the ban to help the economy, help the airline industry. And, you know, I think at this point, I feel like people have the mask wearing and they are able to make their own decisions. And if they want to travel over here and if they want to take that risk, they can. And he did that. And so the tourism industry is suffering right now. The airline industry is, you know, dead right now. Nobody's really traveling. And so he lifted that ban. But Biden, today, he basically reinstated that ban for non-U.S. residents entering the country from other countries. And he also did it because there is a new strain, apparently, in South Africa. So that's interesting. But I want to take a look back at last year around this time. Because last year, Trump did the travel ban to China. And the next day, Biden said this on February 1st, and this is a real tweet. This is not me photoshopping. This is a real tweet from his Twitter. And when I googled this story, I said, did he really call him a xenophobic racist? And so the first thing I was met with was this PolitiFact deal. And it says mostly false. And this is from March 27th, I believe. I think it says somewhere. Anyway, I think it's March 26, 2020. Basically, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll leave the link in the description if you want to read it. But basically what they're saying is he didn't actually call him a xenophobic, but he said he was replying to a tweet that Trump put out. And so he said that his use of the word China virus is xenophobic. So he was saying that was racist, but he actually didn't say that the travel ban was racist. But also says Biden did not spell out which part of the Trump's tweet was xenophobic. So, but he was criticizing, and I'll give you another tweet that he did in March. But this is what he said in February 1st, 2020. We are in the midst of a crisis with CV. We need to lead the way with science, not Donald Trump's record of hysteria, xenophobia, and fear-mongering. He is the worst possible person to lead our country through a global health emergency. So, PolitiFact. So when you Google that, it doesn't bring up the tweet. I define the tweet from another source, from this other article that I found. But he said that right here. He basically said right there. I mean, what's more clear about that? But I mean, to be fair, he did come back and say that it was probably a good idea. But at the time, you had all these people bashing Trump. You had Nancy Pelosi. You had all these people bashing Trump for this travel ban. I mean, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. So here he is in March of 2020, March 18th. Stop the xenophobic fear-mongering. Be honest. Take your responsibility. Do your job. So basically, like, he technically called him a xenophobic for calling the virus China virus. But he didn't say anything about the travel ban. But he did criticize him with the travel ban. And we'll get into that here in a second. So here's an article from the Washington Examiner, and I guess it's kind of a right-leaning website, but it basically lays out, yes, Biden absolutely did oppose the travel ban to China, and he did call it xenophobic. It says here, on March 27th, PolitiFact simply awarded a mostly false rating to Trump's assertion that Biden had called the China travel restrictions racist. This is absurd. Biden clearly opposed the China ban. And so the restriction went on effect on January 31st of 2020, and on February 1st, he sent out that tweet that I just read. And then on March 12th of 2020, he said this, and this is a real tweet. A wall will not stop the coronavirus. Banning all travel from Europe or any other part of the world will not stop it. And I'll play a clip here in a second. He said, it will not stop it, but it will slow it. This disease could impact every nation and any person on the planet, and we need a plan to combat it. So I'm going to play a couple clips here of him talking back in March. It's very interesting. Take a look.
We will lead by science. The World Health Organization now has officially declared COVID-19 a pandemic. Downplaying it, being overly dismissive, or spreading misinformation is only going to hurt us and further advantage the spread of the disease. But neither should we panic or fall back on xenophobia. Labeling COVID-19 a foreign virus does not displace accountability for the misjudgments that have been taken thus far by the Trump administration. Let me be crystal clear. The coronavirus does not have a political affiliation. It will infect Republicans, independents, and Democrats alike, and will not discriminate based on national origin, race, gender, or zip code. It will touch people in positions of power, as well as the most vulnerable in our society. And it will not stop. Banning all travel from Europe or any other part of the world may slow it, but as we've seen, it will not stop it. And travel restrictions based on favoritism and politics rather than risk will be counterproductive. This is going to require a national response, not just from our elected leaders or our public health officials, but from all of us.
Coronavirus emanated from China. A national emergency, worldwide alerts. The American people need to have a president who they can trust what he says about it, that he is going to act rationally about it. In moments like this is where the credibility of the president is most needed, as he explains what we should and should not do. This is no time for Donald Trump's record of hysterical xenophobia, and fear-mongering.
So yeah, what are your thoughts on that? It seems like whatever Trump is for, whatever Trump was for, Biden is against. So, he flip-flopped on a lot of things, and I find it very hilarious. But the internet does not forget. The internet doesn't forget. And what's the point of putting a travel ban in place whenever he reinstated the Muslim ban? And also he is giving citizenship to 11 million people who are going to come into the U.S., take our jobs, and potentially infect people with this virus. I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, this virus is all over the world. So they're going to come in. And so open borders, but we're going to close the travel to these countries. So it's interesting to see the media. The media is ignoring it. They, last February, they were calling Trump a racist and all these names, but it's totally fine when Biden does it. So Anyway, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit the like button. Be sure to hit subscribe. And I'll be back with more videos coming up soon.